Don't forget to check out the Hockey Podcast Network's newest affiliate, NHLShop.com. That's right, the official NHL merchandise page. Right now, they're giving 20% off orders over $25 with code NHLICE25. Also, if you use our link that we're going to tweet out after this episode, you can help support us and the other hosts at the Hockey Podcast Network.
This is the Hockey Podcast Network, your home for hockey talk on every team in the NHL.
Welcome to Offside by a Mile, the podcast for anything and everything Colorado Avalanche, and the official Avs podcast for the Hockey Podcast Network. I lied. I'm not going to start with the fact that this feels like it's been forever since we've not seen a hockey game this week. But it has been forever. It's been like 2 weeks now, almost.
Yeah.
I'm dying. As you're going to hear in our interview with the guys from the Grid Per 60 pod.
Across the continent.
Marble racing is becoming a legitimate cause for concern and something I may need to start watching just to keep my sanity, which probably means I'm losing my sanity.
Aren't we all?
That being said, currently on ESPN2, it has been converted to ESPN 8, the Ocho, which is friggin' amazing.
Man, that is great.
That is probably the best thing to come from this whole situation. Sorry about all the people that are sick and dying, but this is great.
Yeah.
Something to keep me happy. Jared and Tyler in studio as per usual. I also lied last episode and saying that we were going to be on twice a week as per usual. That is changing. We are now coming to you only on Mondays. We're cutting down some of the content just because some people are having issues with content creation. And to be honest, I feel like it may get a little stale if we go every other, or like twice a week as per usual.
Mm-hmm.
So hopefully we can keep the content at least a little entertaining for once a week and you guys keep listening. That being said, into the news of the week, the weekend here. For those of you that are starved for content and don't want to watch, I don't know, replays of Nuggets games, Altitude's going to replay select Avs games on, I don't know, they have their schedule, but it's games from this year, right? Yeah, this season's game. So, I mean, at least you can watch Cale Makar and Nathan McKinnon play and the majority of these games.
And, you know, I'm sure they're going to show some good ones. And there's been some damn good games this year, too, right? Like,
yeah, don't forget that.
Some pretty, like, one of the more exciting Avs years, I think we could all say, especially in recent memory. If we're,
definitely,
you know, it's there's been some really good games. So, you know, all we can do right now is watch those games.
I also saw
reminisce.
They were replaying. I can't remember if it was on Altitude or not, but they're replaying the 2001 Cup run. I think right now too.
Yeah,
which is fantastic, and you should watch that.
Yeah, I caught a bit of that. It's just like, wow, this is a long time ago
Hockey
now.
was so weird.
Oh man, when you look back at hockey, that's like just all the old games I've been watching, and like I did it. They do it sometimes, like, you know, mid-afternoon up in Canada anyway on Sportsnet.
Or like NHL classics too.
Yeah, they show some random games. You like see games from like the early 90s and you're like, what the hell am I watching right now?
Literally just swinging sticks at each other. Okay.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah, you're like, that's a penalty now. That's a penalty now. Okay, so there's about 3 penalties on that play.
He literally skated through the neutral zone and he could have been called, or he could have drew 3 different penalties.
Hooked, hacked, you know.
It's the one thing that makes me feel like a millennial the most is looking at like a game from 2001 and going like, what the hell is that?
Yeah. Those
like,
were the days.
Oh my god. But yeah, so again, relive the cup run and stuff like that, and relive this season if you want. I do not blame you. This week, I think we got the Panthers game from the 18th of October on Tuesday, the Lightning game on this Thursday, and then the Canucks game on Saturday. Oh, and then the Leafs game on Sunday
really
too.
Good. Oh yeah.
So I might, watch that one.
Was that Florida? Did that Florida game go to overtime?
Probably.
I feel like that was like our first overtime of the
Yeah,
season.
you might be right.
I'm not 100% sure though, but definitely some good games there. Like that Tampa game, I remember was one of the best games I've seen all year. Like,
Yeah.
That was such a good game.
So yeah, there's that. Some actual hockey that's not 19 years removed, so it looks like real hockey. And then I'm sure Nathan Rudolph will tweet out some links of some live streams again, because why not?
Watch some, video game hockey.
Also, talking about the Hockey Podcast Network, Terry Ryan had a new episode released on Friday. I believe actually the Ice Analytics podcast also released on Friday. And another shout out to the Hunks of Hockey podcast.
I think that one comes out tomorrow or Tuesday?
Yeah, it's every Tuesday, I think.
Yeah.
So yeah,
Sweet.
Tomorrow if you're listening to this on Monday. So again, some more content for you, especially with the new Hunks of Hockey one. They're fresh, unlike us. They have lots of content to talk about that they haven't covered yet.
Yeah, exactly.
So yeah. Back into our episode. We will jump into, I'm gonna call it the Across the Quarantine segment of the week.
There you go.
I think that'll work.
Cross isolation.
Cross the isolation. We talked to Brandon and Connor from the Great for 60 pod. We've talked to Connor before. I don't know. This is probably like November, I think.
Yeah, it's like a few months. Yeah,
Yeah,
probably
maybe
November,
December. The Avs played the Jets. The Avs were supposed to play the Jets here like right soon. So keeping with the theme, we were planning on having these people all on the podcast to begin with, and things got all out of whack. So
now it's like, man, everyone's so busy. It's like, how are we going to get some interviews?
Yeah,
here?
every time we ask somebody, they're like, yeah, we have nothing to go. So
sitting on a lazy boy right now, doing nothing. So
yeah, I hope you enjoy the interview, and we'll catch you in a minute. Hey guys, thanks for chatting with us today.
Oh, well, nice to be here.
Different sides of the quarantined world, but still got some hockey stuff to talk about, because why not?
It's all the same country.
Yeah, basically. Basically, we're all desperate for hockey content, so I'm not surprised that we're still recording, but the content is getting scarce, I would say. I'd say Thursday there was some stuff to talk about, because like the NHLPA came out with their proposed return to hockey, and then we had all that. I mean, the Senators and their coronavirus stuff is coming out, but like other than that, it's pretty quiet.
Yeah, I think we're a few weeks away from like rewatching the Mighty Ducks and coming up with some analytics nonsense with that.
Have you guys seen any?
Who's the grittiest? Well, never mind.
Have you guys seen any replays of stuff? Like, I know for us here in Avs country, like Altitude's replaying some Avs games and some stuff like that. You guys getting any of that with the Jets?
I don't know about the Jets. I know the Sharks replayed the game that Tomas Hartl had 4 goals in the game.
Oh, nice.
I know about that. It's a little harder because we don't live in Winnipeg, so like it's kind of hard for us to say what the local channels have been airing, because
you don't have them.
Right.
Yeah. And
I haven't seen so many replays, but I have seen teams go and do the digital thing where they start playing Chell. And I'm like, why hasn't the NHL as a whole jumped all over this? Like, dive full into this, get some players involved, get something going with it. Like, I feel like that could get some real PR going for them. I don't.
Yeah, we had a game, I think, last Sunday that got somebody live streamed, and then one of the guys that actually covers the Avs tweeted out the stream link and then watched it and then live tweeted the stream. It was hilarious.
Yeah.
Oh my goodness.
There's
That's what we need, and then get some like NHLers in here and have them like
Yeah.
on
Dude,
the same screen chirping at each other while they're playing the games.
Get some high quality analysis, you know,
Quality
from, like,
content here.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, you never.
I know that the college basketball Reddit has taken like one of the old college basketball games, like updated the rosters, and they're running like their own simulation of the NCAA tournament right now.
Nice.
Amazing.
Yeah, and they have like legitimate like game and like post game threads. It's amazing.
So yeah, like that is crazy enough, right? Like we're sitting here and we're kind of getting the itch because there's no hockey. Imagine, like, I'm not super into college basketball, but imagine being one of those fans where you're literally like you live for this week in March and like for the next 2 weeks to watch basketball and only watch basketball, and there's nothing. Like, you must be losing your mind.
Or like if you go to a college where the only sport they do well is basketball, because there are those schools that like just they don't have
100%.
like Wichita State or whatever, they don't have football teams.
And now
It's
you have
just like,
nothing. God damn, that would be awful.
Yeah, I mean, I feel like maybe it's just a matter of time before we start seeing like NHL players like calling each other up, like, "Yo, let's get on Twitch. Let's start streaming some Chell." Like, you know.
Well, I know
we'll get McKinnon and Landeskog, and you guys
saying.
can have Line A and Ehlers, and we'll have a Chell battle.
I'm sure Line is good at Chell. I mean, he's good.
Right. He loves his Fortnite.
Yeah.
Oh, I'm sorry. He's been allowed to play video games again.
Oh, maybe that's a good
Okay.
question. Yeah.
He's like, yes, I could play Fortnite.
I'm trying to think who would I want? Who would have the most personality? Who would I want to see playing Chell?
That's a good question, actually.
I mean, I guess you would want Line A in there because he's the star and he's probably pretty decent, right? Sounds like he's played some video games in there. I want to say maybe Scheifele might be the trash talker. I don't know.
I think you got to go with one of those like Rosloviches or something.
Somebody young, yeah.
Like, I don't know if Perreault's necessarily a gamer, but he might have some entertainment at least.
Yes,
Lowry,
I would
maybe.
agree. Yeah, in his one game back, he was already like he played like 6 minutes, but you could definitely see he adds a lot of personality to that team.
Like Cody Eakin, maybe. Newcomer.
Brennan has some opinions on Cody Eakin.
Oh, okay, well, I want to hear this.
I'm a noted non-Cody Eakin fan.
I like Cody Eakin for what he brings. At the same time, he's never been on my team, so I don't have.
I mean, like, first of all, he's got to be one of the ugliest players in the league. Like, that is just
wow. You can't say that about a ginger like him.
I don't know, man.
He is the copper top of all copper tops.
Yeah.
Like when he was on Vegas, I just hated him, and I don't know. He's just not a good player.
Just one of those players that you just can't stand.
Man, 5 points in 8 games is doing pretty good since the trade.
Yeah, and that's I was gonna tell. Like, my whole thing with the Cody Eakin trade was, I understand where Brennan's coming from. He's not great statistically, but
he wasn't.
Let's give him a chance.
Like, if you look at anything other than the points, like the second line is like tanked. Like, they've been like shelled in their own end for like most of the time, and then they'll get like 1 or 2 shots and we'll just like go in. It's like, okay, that's great and all, but like,
yeah, but is that Eakin's fault? Or is that a chemistry thing right now?
I mean, when you're the center on the second line, like that's the other thing. Cody Eakin is not a second line center.
I was gonna say miscasting a player is not the player's fault.
That is a capital P problem there.
Yeah. I totally actually forgot about Cody Eakin's trade. I just haven't even thought about the trade deadline for so long. It feels like it's 2 months ago.
Oh man.
I mean, I'm totally with you on that, because like I forgot about Cody Eakin since he basically ended Vegas' season in April. So
okay, so last time we chatted, it was earlier in the season. Connor Hellebuck was a monster. He came back down to earth, I guess, a little bit. The Jets did to begin with, but like, do you guys still feel like Hellebuck should be top 3 Vezina voting?
Yes.
Top 1.
Yeah, okay.
Top 1, leading Vezina candidate. heart candidate, I would say.
Oof, that
Uh,
is
I mean,
Hot
there's
take.
no way this team is anywhere near the playoffs without him. And I think the fact that his chances of winning the Vezina hinges on a playoff appearance by the Jets is kind of disappointing, but I understand why. But it's just, I look at all of the shot maps for the different games, and it's just like, oh, the other team is only shooting directly in front of Connor Hellebuck, and somehow the Jets won this game.
Yep, that was pretty much the same topic of conversation when we talked last time.
Yeah.
Which, I mean, again, isn't exactly surprising when your team ices 2 NHL defensemen.
I mean, two is really like pretty complimentary of that Jets defense. Like really, pretty much before Dylan DeMello showed up, it was like Josh Morrissey and maybe Neil Pionk when they're on the power play.
Right.
And I would say the defensemen that are arguably NHL talents, other than Josh Morrissey, they're not good in their own zone, like Neil Pionk. And I would throw maybe I was going to throw Sami Nikiu in there, but I don't know. He's okay, I guess.
It's really funny to consider that like Dylan DeMello might be your third best defenseman, or even
I
maybe
think he
better.
might be the second best.
Yeah, like I'm not like I'm. This isn't surprising. This isn't news, and I'm not saying that I don't agree with the statement. It's just like the Jets were dealt such a shitty hand to start the year with the Bufflin thing, with the fact that their decor was decimated to begin with Trouba out and all that stuff.
Mhm.
It's crazy to think that when they make a trade for Dylan DeMello, you're like, man, this is a really good move for the Jets. That really solidifies their second pair. Like, whoa.
Actually, it only like sort of solidifies their first pair.
Yeah, I guess fair.
Like, no,
But it's such
like
an improvement.
Yeah, like the Jets were in that weird spot where it's like, you know, losing Myers and Ben Sherratt, like, I don't think that was necessarily the wrong move. Like, giving Tyler Myers big money was not going to be a good idea.
100%. 100% that was not a smart
if you're complaining that your team misses Ben Sherratt, like, I think you have other problems. You know, like dealing Trouba sucked, but at the same time, it was just like, I don't know if you can really expect a team to be any good when their defensemen are like Dmitry Kulikov and, oh God, why are you claiming Lucas Visa off waivers? Like, I don't get that.
Yeah,
At least he was a free pickup.
Yeah.
Yeah, but he wasn't even their only like bad waiver pickup. They also they picked up Dahlstrom off waivers too, and I'm like, I don't think I'd ever heard of Carl Dahlstrom before they got him off waivers.
No idea who that is.
Yeah, exactly.
Jared's like a half-assed Jets fan too, and that's saying something.
Yeah, I haven't paid enough attention to them this year, but that's like the Trouba thing too, and like the Myers thing. It's just like, man, they didn't really want to be here, obviously, too, or in Winnipeg, obviously, too. So it's like, what do you do? You know,
Yeah,
you
Trouba
can't
for
pay
sure.
him like Trouba was definitely not going to stay, right? And then Myers is asking way too much money. It's like, well, I guess we're starting from scratch pretty much here. Oh, Bufflin's gone too. Oh, great. Like, shit.
Yeah, the Bufflin thing was probably the biggest one out of those.
I was really rooting for a shortened season Bufflin. Like, if he's banged up, maybe he comes back in like February and then goes on a run with them. He's just saving it up for like that half season thing.
So speaking
But
of
it just
Bufflin,
wasn't meant to happen.
lots but not lots has happened since we talked to you last. Do we know anything about what's going on with the Bufflin garbage, I guess if we call it that?
I'm pretty sure that they just terminated his contract or whatever, or that they're going to.
Yeah.
I kind of forget, to be honest.
Yeah, I saw that there was like potentially some sort of hearing or whatever going into that, and that's the last I heard of it.
Oh yeah, right. Wasn't he attempting to file a lawsuit?
Well, I think there was a
something?
grievance between the NHLPA and the Jets or something,
Okay.
but it was like, I don't know.
Yeah, a lot of technical stuff that honestly I don't really know that much about.
I think a lot of people were probably hoping the same thing as Connor just kind of said. It's like, that's kind of what I was thinking. I don't think anybody thought that Bufflin was going to be done at the start of this year.
Yeah.
Like, it was just like, okay, well, you know, maybe he's a little bit banged up. We'll wait, like a few months. Maybe he'll come back. And then, you know, time went on. You kind of just didn't hear anything.
it's kind of like what's going on with Buffalo, and then all of a sudden it's like, oh,
I think there was always
halfway through December.
there was always a question with his contract on when it was going to look really bad. This is not quite how I pictured it.
Yeah, right.
The stocks just went.
I mean, at least he's free at the moment. Like, I expected him to be playing like a $1.5 million player, earning $7.5 million, not playing and not getting paid.
No, I think right now he's just suspended without pay. So
Yeah.
they had a lot of cap room at their disposal at the deadline, but then decided to take on Cody Eakin's contract. So,
Well, it's easy to say they had a lot of cap room, but at the same time, like, Cheveldayoff's not exactly the guy that likes to spend a lot of assets.
I mean, Cheveldayoff's made like 15 trades total since he's been in Winnipeg. So
And a lot of them have included like nothing.
yeah, and it's like
Assets.
mostly like AHL guys, or like we'll swap a fourth for a fourth.
Yeah.
Yeah, like
Right,
the Trouba
it's-
trade's probably the biggest trade.
The
right?
Trouba trade, and then if you
It
want to
is
say
something, yeah. It's something really bizarre. It's like Hayes and Trouba, and then
Yeah.
you like look
Right.
down the list, and you're like, I don't know any of these people.
Yeah, exactly. Right. Like he's never been a guy aside from last year to trade any sort of asset, like expensive asset.
Which, and I guess you could say, it's kind of worked.
Oh, 100%.
Like,
it's worth.
especially for the forward group, it's just kind of.
I mean, like, has it, though?
But I mean, I was just
Yeah.
gonna say, I don't know if that's necessarily a bad thing that he's not trading. I think, as
I-
far as being like cost efficient, trading is one of the least efficient ways to acquire assets. So
That
I
and the
don't know if
fact
that's
that, like,
necessarily a bad thing.
The risk reward on stuff. If you look at like the Avs situation this year, right? Joe Sakic made 5 or 6 depth moves, and with little to no risk. Like there was 3 or 4 free agent signings for like pretty low contract dollar, low contract length, and then a couple of trades like Nemestikov for a fourth, right? Like that have worked out really, really well. And if you're gonna look at the risk reward stuff, it's like, if you don't need to swing for the fences like the Jets, now maybe this year they needed to swing for the fences on a defenseman or something, but like you have Laine, you have Scheifele, you have Wheeler, you have Ehlers. Yeah, maybe you need a legitimate second line center, but like paying for Kevin Hayes is ludicrous. Like what he got is insane. Paying for Tyler Myers would have been insane. Trying to somehow massage Trouba's situation would have been insane too. So I think you got to look at Cheveldayoff and say he's done a good job.
I don't know though. I mean, he's been there ever since they moved to Winnipeg, and they've made the playoffs 3 times.
True, but that's also the Atlanta Thrashers.
Yeah, but like at some point, like you have to say that you've done more than winning one playoff round since being employed since 2011.
I agree. That being said, I don't like. It's not like the Jets' window's closed too, right? Like you're saying that. Oh yeah, no, they've only been in the playoffs 3 times. They've won 1 round, but it's not like
they won 2, but
yeah. Or sorry, yeah. But like it's not like next year they're literally going back to a rebuild, right? The window's far
Yeah.
from closed.
I mean, yeah, it would take a summer overhaul of the defense to really, turn things around and turn them into a contender. But they are definitely in like that weird spot of sort of contending, but also sort of not.
It's just the thing is when you, as a fan, ask your GM to fix a problem of we just lost 3 of our top 4 defensemen, you have to realize that either you're going to spend stupid money or you're going to spend stupid assets. And I don't think you can ask for that right away
Well, and
in the NHL the way it is
same-
today.
And at the same time, you have to re-sign 2 of your best forwards, which they did end up doing.
In a time where those forwards get paid crazy money.
Which
Yes.
they did pretty well with those contracts,
I think so.
honestly. Like,
I think so.
We'll see what Laine gets coming out of it.
yeah. After, what is it, 2 more years?
1
I guess?
more.
Oh, yeah, it is just 2 years, wasn't it?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
It's
so
a 2-year contract.
that'll be
Mhm.
interesting. And I mean, that is the thing. It's like they got dealt a shitty hand this year.
The
and-
Connor deal is absolutely outrageous,
Yeah.
I think. I don't know what you guys think.
I mean, when you say outrageous, are you saying a good kind of outrageous or
Yeah,
a bad kind of
I
outrageous?
think it's really good.
Okay. I
Like-
mean, it was weird to me. Like, if you had asked me a couple years ago that Kyle Connor's going to get more money than Patrick Laine, probably wouldn't have believed you. But that deal has worked out really well.
But it's more money, but Laine is going to make more money. Laine is getting more than 7.2
Especially after
for the next 4 or 5 years after his contract expires.
Especially
Right,
after
but
this year.
I'm just saying this year,
Yeah, but
Connor's making more money.
this is the thing, right? You can't look at the salary cap like that because the length of the deal is definitely huge, especially now with these young guys. Like you look at McDavid. McDavid's making more money than a guy like Austin Matthews. But Austin Matthews has a chance to re-up before McDavid does, which means Matthews is probably going to end up making more money than Connor McDavid ever did.
Right, I'm just saying it's funny though that
Yeah, oh for sure.
Connor is making more money this year than Line.
But it's
a couple years ago would have been crazy.
for sure. But at the same time, you look at Kyle Connor's deal and compare it to guys like Rantanen and Marner and other guys that signed around him, and man, did the Jets get a good deal.
But honestly, I'm not sure I would say that Patrick Laine has, just looking at this season, I wouldn't say that he's earned necessarily more than Kyle Connor has. Because I think if I just compare their seasons and I look at what they're making, I'm going, okay, do I really want to pay Patrick Laine more than what I'm paying Kyle Connor when they're kind of right around the same as far as their production?
Fair. Kyle Connor's had a really good year, for sure.
He's had a very good year.
Which is awesome to see when you're looking at a guy that just signed a big, long deal.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it's exactly what you want to see. That's good response from him. So, yeah.
Speaking of Patrick Laine, he hasn't had his month. Well, I mean, I guess kind of. He's in his month-long slump right now. But he didn't have one.
Aren't
yet.
we all?
Yeah.
He didn't have a nice month-long slump this year.
No, but I also don't think we've seen that 1 month where he just booms.
True.
It's been a very different season from him this year, particularly when you say, oh, all the little things that he's done better this season. He's not simply he is still a goal scorer, but he's not simply a goal scorer.
That's the thing with like your Kyle Connor versus Patrick Laine comparison is like the discussion in the summer was Patrick Laine is the goal scorer, Kyle Connor is the all-around guy. It's the hardest thing to do in the NHL is score goals. Well, Kyle Connor's got 10 more goals than Patrick Laine in 3 more games. So I don't know if that's truth either.
Yeah.
Like Kyle Connor has been everything I think a Jets fan could hope for, right?
Oh, for sure.
I mean,
For
I would
sure.
hope for. I mean, I guess on the offense side of things, yes. But I mean, his defense has been really bad this year. And when you put that, like at one point, I think they had Scheifele, Connor, and Laine all playing together, and I'm like, we're just not gonna play any defense today. Like that's fine.
We're playing a 5-man offensive unit, and we're letting Hellebuyck deal with the rest.
Yeah, that's been the season.
Yeah.
I mean, it was basically like controller disconnected as soon as the puck left the zone.
that is the best GIF in the NHL. Is the Ovechkin controller disconnected GIF. For sure.
Yeah, that'll never get old.
No, never. But yeah, so like, are you happier with Laine's season this year than last year?
For sure.
Is that a rhetorical question?
Well, Connor looks like he's thinking about it.
I was thinking about it. I was trying to remember this whole week has been forever ago. Last season is an eternity.
That's true. I mean, like what, 18 goals in a
But
month?
yeah,
right?
I would have
I
to agree.
mean,
Probably
18 goals in a
probably
month
bit more
last year, right?
satisfying.
Yeah, that November was. I think it was.
Well,
November
but again,
last year.
you've got that November, and then you've got the drought that follows.
Yeah.
Which was
We're not
long
talking
and
about
excruciating.
December and January, where what did he score like 1 goal in 2.5 months or some shit? It was crazy. It wasn't that bad, but
I think the interesting thing though is that his shooting percentage has like roughly been the same, but he has 13 more points in 14 fewer games, and he has 15 more assists than he had last year. He had 20 assists last season.
that's the thing that blew me away at the start of the season was just seeing all these beautiful passing plays that Laine's the like author of. You're like, what the
What is
the dude's
happening?
supposed to be shooting the puck and he's making a beautiful pass like that, like for
Growth.
another apple on the night. It's like, holy crap! I never knew he was capable of like, also like just not wanting to shoot all the time. I felt like that's how Laine kind of was, especially when he first came into the league. Is like right when he got the puck, he's just like, I'm gonna shoot, I'm gonna try and score right now. And like this year at the start of the year, you're like, huh, this is a development. You're like,
Yeah.
okay. Interesting.
Players grow and get better. It's wild.
Glad I took him in the pool
Weird.
still. Glad I took a chance on him still because he's got me a lot of points this year. Which sucks too. It's like thinking about pools. It's like, what's gonna happen to the pools now, man? I'm so close to Tyler. Like, damn it!
Screw you guys.
It's like I'm
winning.
like 20 points away from you. I think. I was like, shit.
If I was talking purely from a fantasy standpoint, I'd hope the NHL season ended today.
Yeah. Tyler's leading two of our
pools.
Yeah.
2 of 2. Actually.
Yeah, the only 2 pools I'm in. He's in the lead. It's like, shit.
Which is really depressing. Seeing the fantasy, like the Yahoo Fantasy app on my home screen on my cell phone every day, and wanting to click on it to see what's up is really sad.
Have you guys gotten to the point where you're betting on marble races yet, or?
Yeah,
I've thought about it for sure.
I saw some clip like of a guy like freaking out because he like gambled on the weather. And he like bet on it to like rain on Wednesday, and they like the weather forecast predicted like a clear sunny day or something.
Oh my god!
Is maybe the most pathetic thing I've ever seen.
It's like 1,000 to 1 odds here.
Yeah,
it
like
rains.
I remember last year watching those marble races on YouTube. This is the time for them to shine.
Oh yeah, remember what we were watching last year?
Yeah,
the
we like
Marble Olympics.
Yeah, Marble Olympics. Yeah, right.
I gotta rewatch that.
That
now.
channel's legit.
Yeah,
it is.
like
it is.
it's so ridiculous. And
Production
right now,
value.
I don't understand why it's entertaining, but it just is.
it's stupid.
I don't know. I spent 3 hours. No, I'm kidding.
I hate.
But it's
myself.
like I'll just sit there and watch these events. I'm like, okay, yeah, but I don't understand why it's so captivating.
Well, part of it's almost kind of soothing to just like watch marbles like just go down the course. But the other thing is that like the guy who makes them like makes you really think that it's a real sport, right? Like, so like a lot of like production values, there are like a lot of like there's a commentator, there's a winner and a loser, and you're like,
man,
kind of forget that it's just marbles.
If you want to crush a live stream, marble races, man, right now, marble races, and then if you get a decently big enough size, then you can probably start betting on it. Done deal. You're gonna blow up in views.
Yeah, you get like a sponsorship from like DraftKings or whatever, and you're set for life.
Yeah, pick like a fantasy team, your top 5 fantasy like marbles. Done. $10 might win 50 grand. Killing it.
If I see betting odds for marble races, I might lose it.
Marble Olympics established in 2020.
The best part is like if you see odds, like I want to know why the pink marble has like the best odds, and then the green one is like, oh, I think he's gonna finish last. Like that's what I want to know.
I would just like to know like the betting odds, like, oh, this team has 3-1. This team is a long shot. They're marbles. Why are they different?
Exactly. That's it. Some crazy guy in Vegas is probably stirring in his like house because he can't make odds for anybody right now. And he's just like, I want to make some odds for marbles. I don't care.
Oh, what was? Do it. Oh, there was something that they came up with for betting on some TV show, and I don't remember what it was.
I don't know. Was it like Top Chef or something?
No.
I don't know why I'm thinking Top Chef.
Probably like Real Housewives or something.
Will the chicken?
No, probably like
The what it was.
Will Jane get pissed off at Sherry? Probably.
I'm gonna remember it during a random point this afternoon
and be mad.
Yeah.
Just
then
tweet it.
Make sure you tweet it at us. Yeah.
I'll yes, for
Definitely
sure.
tweet it.
Okay, so I'd say my last hockey question of the day. With the Jets, who's your biggest surprise this year so far?
That's tough. I mean, I guess Nick Ehlers. I liked Nick Ehlers before this year. He's kind of been their breakout guy. Like I don't want to say like I'm too surprised that he's had a really good year this year because his numbers have always been pretty good. Just the points total never really matched. But yeah, I'll go with him.
Yeah, so the Grit per 60 pod is usually the Connor Hellebuck, Kyle Connor, and Nikolai Ehlers show, but I am going to throw in there Jansen Harkins just because coming into the season, I didn't think anything of him. I didn't really know who he was.
Same.
And then he had a bit of January and February where he started getting more time and more minutes and really showed up in those minutes. He's played like that fourth line has been great since January. And then he played up on the third and second lines for a little bit and really played really well. So I'll go Jansen Harkins.
Nice.
Wow. Well, yeah, that's surprising.
Honestly, I kind of forgot about him until you just mentioned him. And I'm like, oh, yeah, that's a good call because I kind of noticed that too lately. Lately.
See, as soon as you mentioned Connor Hellebuck, I thought you were going to say Connor Hellebuck because I believe that he would.
Well,
Okay, but like I definitely agree that Hellebuck would definitely be up there in terms of surprises.
yeah, I mean, coming into the season, he was probably our biggest question mark because he had that season a few years ago where he was like the guy. He was one of the best in the league, and then last year he was just kind of okay. So we didn't know what we were getting out of Connor Hellebuck, and then here he is. I'm voting for him for Vezina if I had a vote, but
Yeah.
you know,
I was gonna ask questions about Ehlers, and I stopped myself. I have a friend that I work with that really doesn't like him. He's a Jets fan and doesn't
Why?
like Ehlers. Your guess is as good
How-
as mine.
how
yeah,
does
it seems illogical.
I've had so many arguments trying to get him off the "we need to trade Nick Ehlers" bandwagon. It's ridiculous.
Why? I don't
don't have an
at
answer.
$6 million he's a steal?
That's what I said.
I don't understand.
in my opinion, he deserved to go to the All-Star game more than Shifley did, but that's an argument for another day.
It's only the All-Star game.
Yeah, I've
I
liked
mean-
Ehlers since. Is it Denmark that he's from? I'm trying to think.
I think so.
I just remember him in the World Juniors, and I was like, oh, this guy's gonna
Yeah.
be good.
Denmark.
He's very eye-catching to watch because he's so fast. He can
Yeah.
attract 2 or 3 defensemen, beat all of them somehow, and then your other guys are open.
Yeah,
You are right about Denmark, by the way.
Yeah.
right. Nice,
I was-
nice.
I don't know why. I was thinking
Shout.
Sweden for some reason. So
Yeah, I was like,
I was
like
thinking Finland for
Switzerland?
sure.
The hell are you
Yeah,
from,
Finland.
Ehlers?
Somewhere in Europe.
But yeah,
that's usually how I work. I usually try to guess like Scandinavia, and then I'm like, I don't know, Germany or Switzerland, and then I kind of
Czech
forget about
Republic.
Denmark. Czech Republic, yeah.
yeah.
Well, I mean, the chances are pretty low that somebody's out of Denmark.
That's
for
true.
England,
Yeah,
yeah.
there's not
To be
too many
honest.
Danes out
I think
there.
there's 3 or 4 right now. Freddie.
I think
and-
shoot, Hansen, the guy who used to play for Vancouver, isn't he like their leading scorer in Danish NHL history or something?
yeah, that rings a bell for sure. Probably because he's like the only one. And then now they have like Frederick Anderson,
Right.
and
That's true.
that's it. But yeah, so I don't know. You guys have anything else?
What's on your guys' minds? Because you guys have been asking all the questions.
I'm good, I think.
Oh, you're good.
You know,
Okay.
just wish we had some hockey to watch, but you know, that's about it. Just
I mean,
like-
this has to suck for you guys because this was a pretty good season for the Avs. I would say, or at least as far as results go.
yeah, and
Coming into the playoffs in a good spot.
I'm super concerned at this point, just the way that, you know, hearing everything about this virus and everything, and, you know, we might not get back to normalcy by June.
Yeah.
And it's like, oh, man, like, you better not take this season away from us, you fucking virus. like this could be
Stay
a big
indoors.
season for Colorado here, and
I
That's
feel
my
like
biggest
I feel like
concern.
the NHL is gonna play with no fans way before they decide no Stanley Cup.
well, that's kind of what I
Who-
figure is at least they'll try and get some kind of playoff format. Honestly, if I were to speak honestly, I highly doubt we're playing any more season games. Maybe
Definitely.
like a few kind of to
I'm-
try and decide.
I'm a
some
huge
kind of
fan
bracket.
of the 10 teams in each conference thing, where the division, the guys that got the 3 division spots are in. The 2 wildcard teams play the next 2 teams below in like a preliminary round thing to get into those last 2 spots.
I feel
That's
Yeah,
the
'cause-
plan that I like.
Where as in terms of win percentage or points percentage, where are the Jets in the West?
They're out. I think they
9?
would be out under that format by like 0.001%.
Yeah, okay. I thought I heard something about them being like
It's
just
something
under.
ludicrous because like 4 teams are all right around the same points percentage. They're just off by like 0.001 or 0.002.
right because they're like tied in points, right? Isn't there like
Pretty
Yeah,
3
because
teams?
they're at like 0.533 and everyone else is like 0.534 and 0.535 or something like that.
Yeah, that's the rough thing too. It's like for those teams like the Jets fighting so close for that playoff spot. It's like
Yeah, they're ahead of Vancouver by 2 points, but they've played 2 more games.
Yeah.
So it's like,
Now
That was the thing we proposed was like, you know, maybe if they play any regular season games, they're just going to need to get everybody to the same number of like games played.
which would
Yeah.
still suck because then you're watching. If you're a Jets fan, you're watching these other teams that you're in a race with play their last 2 games, and
Yeah.
you're done because
Yeah,
you're
and
already at
the
71.
Jets will probably get
Yeah.
screwed at that point.
Yeah.
It would be weird too with like the fact that like say for whatever reason the NHL gets teams to like 72 games or something. It's just like that 72 game schedule isn't the same quote unquote difficulty as everybody else's 72 games.
Right, and I would
Right.
still say even in that case, I would be in favor of the play-in rounds.
Mm-hmm. Well, yeah, like they whatever the 24 team proposed playoff system.
Not 24.
24
Not
is too
24.
many.
24
Yeah.
probably
20.
is too many, but
20 teams.
20 teams, I don't know, man. 20
Well, 20 is just normal, but you've got the 2
like a two wild cards.
extra ones, really.
Yeah. So speaking of that, most likely this is the case. So we're kind of both our fan bases are like, man, I really want playoffs and I want our
Yes.
team to make the playoffs. Imagine being an Arizona fan. I mean, one of the 5 fans, but like they're
Yeah.
legit. Like in your 20 team situation, they're missing.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's the tough
Well,
part.
no matter
And
where
they
you draw the line,
spend-
somebody's gonna be mad.
Yeah, for
But like
sure.
also the Coyotes just aren't really all that good, so I don't really feel bad for them.
I don't really feel bad for them either, but they went and spent on Taylor Hall, which is crazy. Like, regardless of whether they missed legitimately or not, that is going to be a crazy looking at Chaika going, you did what? And our team missed the play. Like, we didn't even make the playoffs, and you swung for the biggest free agent, or you're the biggest trade bait piece in the league.
Yeah, but I mean, I think that there were other factors in play. Like, didn't they lose their starting goaltender?
I think they lost
For a
both.
while?
I think they lost both.
Yeah, I knew they had some crazy injuries.
For sure, but
So-
again, it doesn't. Regardless, like this is one of the risks of trading at the deadline because you can't plan for this, and it's just like kind of like what we saw last year with Columbus, where they went all in, and just barely made the playoffs. Yes, they beat the Lightning, but they didn't. They didn't get in there like easily like it was expected after the trades.
It was toit.
Right? It's crazy. Like we were kind of talking about that where it's like hypothetically if worst case scenario the NHL just straight up doesn't hand out the Stanley Cup this year, no playoffs, no more hockey, it's over. Teams like Arizona, teams like Tampa Bay, teams that have like legitimately spent high quality assets for literally nothing. I don't know how the NHL is going to figure that out. That's why I think they're going to play games, period.
Yeah, I know. Yeah.
Right? Like, I'm not necessarily worried as an Avs fan. We spent like a 4th round pick and like, you know, some nothing. Like, got Hutchinson for basically nothing, right? So it's just like those teams that spend high quality assets are going to be pissed.
Yeah, I guess that was the one question I had been having too, is that I don't know what happens with that.
Yeah, well, I can't imagine you're going to be like, New Jersey, you got to give the stuff back. Like that,
Right, exactly.
that wouldn't be fair to Jersey either.
Wouldn't be fair to really anybody. I mean,
Yeah, so it's just like I don't know how you make this fair.
Yeah, that's a good question. How do you make it fair?
So
'Cause-
I think it's just better to hand the Stanley Cup out.
I don't know. Do you just like keep the players on that team for another year and just be like, that didn't happen? I don't
Redo.
know.
the players then going
Like Patrick Marleau's still on the Penguins right for next season.
Yeah.
He just keeps going.
Taylor Hall's like, I don't want to be here though, man.
I thought this was a 1-year thing.
Well, I thought this was like 2 months, man.
Yeah.
He's like, I want to go make some more money,
Uh,
right? So, I don't know, man. It's gonna be really complicated for sure.
I don't know. What would not having a playoffs this year be better or worse than the offsides call in Game 7 last year for y'all?
Oof, that's not fair.
shit. It would be worse just because we wouldn't be able to see the hockey.
Yeah, I think I would feel like no playoffs this year would be worse.
Yeah. I think that would be worst case.
The
scenario,
one, like, for us,
sure.
the good thing about right now is the fact that the Colorado ambulance is getting healthy and
that was gonna be my question. Is a lot of times, as we get to this point in the season, a lot of teams start feeling the injuries start to pile up.
yeah, this time of the
and
season.
just
or-
in time for the playoffs to really kick in. And now maybe with this break, once we do get rolling, teams will be healthy and ready to go for like a next, like very intense playoff season.
Listen,
Maybe
if I'm
we'll
in
get some better hockey for it, but
if I'm in the Metro, I would be pissed if I have to play the Penguins now with Jake Gensel.
Yeah,
That's true.
true enough.
You say that
well, that's probably going to be my team.
You say that most teams feel the injury bug near the playoffs. Yeah, I wish we could have waited until then. We've been feeling it from game 5.
Yeah, I was gonna say that's pretty much the entire season for you guys. I mean, the Jets have felt it too. At one point, they had like $20 million on IR or whatever.
Rest in peace,
yeah,
Brian
I'd
Little.
say we were probably around there with Rantanen and Landy.
Yeah, it was like us and Colorado and Pittsburgh and Columbus,
So-
kind of all in the same boat.
Are we counting non-hockey injuries as well?
We're not counting Buffalo.
I'm saying as a Flyers fan, I would like to throw out the fact that Nolan Patrick hasn't seen the ice all season,
True.
Right.
True.
Yeah,
I
that's
forgot
tough.
about him.
and Oscar Lindblom is
He's got
Um,
leukemia?
it's Ewing sarcoma, so it's a bone cancer.
Okay.
Yeah.
So
I know it was bad.
Yeah, I mean, that would be one of the most interesting things to see, honestly, because pretty much every team you'd think would almost
Be
be
fully
100% healthy now.
but yes,
So, like, go into the playoffs with every team, like, almost
That's-
legitimately healthy would be crazy.
If
to
we
see.
see a full
intense.
4-round, 7-game series playoff like usual, like a standard full playoff, this could be the best playoffs we've ever seen.
Yeah, everyone's going to be
for
rested
sure.
up.
Right?
and-
Like-
but this for sure. But also, there will be asterisks attached to it because it's so detached from
Yeah.
the rest of the season.
Exactly. It'll be weird. It'll be super weird. And it would be like incredibly hella weird if there's no fans in the building.
See that's what bothered me with missing the NCAA tournament was that like the entire season was like, oh, like the college basketball regular season was crazy, and it was like, oh man, how crazy is the tournament going to be?
Psych.
We didn't get it one.
How
Yeah,
crazy it is, it didn't even happen.
Yeah, that's how crazy
How
it was.
crazy. Yeah.
Can't they give those seniors another year of eligibility though?
I think that's what they said they're doing.
Oh, yeah.
I know that they are doing it for the spring sports. I think the winter ones, I'm not sure about because they got their whole regular season.
True.
Yeah, but
know,
they didn't
like-
get the postseason. That's an important part of your senior year.
That
Yeah,
is the
and-
most
Well,
important
that's
part.
the thing though, is that some of them kind of did. Like if you're on a team that didn't make that wasn't going to make the tournament, right? Like if you're a senior on, East Connecticut State or whatever, right? Like you finish your regular season, your season's over.
Yeah, that's it. That's all.
I mean, that must be so painful for those seniors too. If they don't get a chance next year, it's
Well-
like this might legitimately be the last time I play basketball.
So many of them aren't ever gonna play in the NBA. So yeah,
It's like, damn,
Or-
dude, this
yeah.
was it. This could have been like the pinnacle of my sporting career, life,
gone.
and it's just gone. Yeah, that sucks.
Especially also if you're not like good enough to play in like Europe or whatever.
Yeah.
Yeah,
'Cause that's where a lot of those guys do go.
I guess
Well-
that's true.
Well, and then I start thinking about the different hockey players that might have played their last game and we don't know it yet.
Yeah, like you kind of said, Marlowe, right? Like,
Yeah.
you never know with someone like that, or even
Or
like
Joe,
Thornton,
yeah.
right? Yeah.
Well, Thornton said he's coming back, and I'm pretty sure Marlowe's gonna come back next year too.
That'd be. I mean, both of them are probably fit enough. Like especially Marlowe, the dude can still kind of rip it out there, which is
Marlowe still
impressive.
has some wheels on it. I don't know how, but he's still got some gas left in the tank.
I figured he would be kind of a player that would slow down like Jerome McGinley, kind of like just the way he's played his whole career. I thought he would slow down, but he's still
I
got
mean,
some
Marlowe
wheels.
isn't as physical as Iginla was.
True.
I mean, by the end of Iginla's career, he was completely cooked.
Yeah,
Yeah. Yeah, we saw
What
that
if-
firsthand in Colorado.
Yeah.
That's for sure.
What if we've seen the last of Henrik Lundqvist?
oh, you never know. I was kind of
Justin
thinking about that
Williams.
earlier in the year. I'm like, oh well, Lundy's probably
Yeah, I kind of didn't
going
think
down
about
here.
it.
So they've also got like two other goalies.
Yeah,
I bet you we've seen the last of Henrik Lundqvist in New York. I don't know if we've seen the last of him in the league.
I've heard that he just does not want to leave New York, so I don't.
Well, maybe
I mean, he's
he
only
goes,
got 1 year left on his deal. So
maybe he goes and plays in that super fancy place in the island that's not built.
Oh yeah, super fancy.
I'd
it's so
assume.
fancy, nobody's there.
Yeah, exactly.
I'm just sad to see the SUV go.
You didn't like playing NHL games like it was Europe?
I miss honky.
No, I like the meme of the SUV being in the corner.
Fair.
Yeah.
Okay. Man, what a ridiculous arena that is.
It is.
I don't understand why you would build an arena like that and screw yourself out of a sport, like a professional sport. I just don't get it.
I don't know, because it wasn't originally built for hockey. So
Yeah,
like,
it was.
Was
That's
that
what I
built for
mean. Like
basketball?
they built it for basketball. It's just like,
Yeah.
why wouldn't you just build it for both? Like every other rink in the North America, it seems.
Because I mean, the Islanders didn't move there until after. Like they didn't even announce they were going to move there until after the arena was built.
Yeah, for
So-
sure. That was the reasoning. But it's very odd that you just would straight up be like, I don't want to make more money.
Yeah, kind of limit yourself.
My favorite part is that there are like just straight up seats where you can only see like half of the rink.
Yeah, but that's what I'm saying, right? Like the reason that's the case is because they didn't put the center of the building in the same place like as normal, right? Like they built it smaller so that it fit a NBA court better than it did an NHL arena.
Yeah, and
So
like
then-
the jumbotron sits like not quite over
on the
center
blue
ice
line
as
instead
well.
of on
Yeah.
red
So
line,
weird.
right? So it's just like they only had room to extend one side instead of the whole thing like an NHL rink, and it's just like I've never heard of an NBA venue being pissed off that they share it with a hockey rink. I don't know. Maybe that is a case, but it's weird to me.
Yeah.
It's weird to me to handcuff yourself out of revenue like that.
I don't know. Nothing
I don't
with the
know,
Islanders
man.
ever makes sense.
This is true.
I'm not an architect.
Why not?
Too much math.
Fair.
Yeah, agreed.
Anyway, you guys
I was
got
You
never
guys got
good at
anything else? I think we're good.
I think we're good.
Been going
too.
on for a while, so
Told you.
Um,
Classic.
Yeah,
It's
see?
classic Offside by a mile right here.
Yeah, we'll just talk about
Yep,
stuff.
yep.
Is this what you guys mean by offside by a mile? You just go over time?
Yeah, I mean, yeah, pretty sure.
There's multiple.
Multiple reasonings,
Yeah.
but that one I haven't thought of. But yeah, I think it's perfect.
Yeah.
do you guys want to do your plugs, then we'll do ours?
Sure. Yeah, check us out on Twitter and everything else at Offside by a Mile. We have a YouTube channel. All the podcasts get uploaded 24 hours after original release, so every Tuesday and Friday. I guess Tuesdays for now. But yeah, check us out. We also have a Facebook page. But yeah, thanks for having us, guys.
Oh, thank you for having us. So you can follow the Grit for 60 podcast on Facebook, Twitter, Instagram at Grit for 60 pod. You can follow me on Twitter at bfarrell727. You can follow TC on Twitter at TC_904. And yeah, I think that's all we have. So thanks for listening.
Yeah, awesome. Thanks, dudes.
All right, thank
Thank
you.
you.
Well, thanks again to Brendan and Connor from the Grid for 60 pod. It was a blast to talk to them.
Hell yeah,
It
that was fun.
nice. Nice to catch up. But yeah, so again, hope you enjoyed the episode. One thing before we leave, there's another awesome contest. Now we kind of tweeted about kind of mentioned the Tankathon contest with Cool Hockey and the chance to win a $200 gift card and stuff like that, which obviously is a little up in the air right now since the draft is up in the air and the end of the season is up in the air. They've kind of started a new contest. This is less of a free to enter contest and more of a go use our link and buy stuff contest. But they are running a 31 of 31 contest right now, and if you go to that to coolhockey.com/THPN, follow that link, which we will tweet out probably right away. Either that or you can type it in, whatever. And you buy yourself a jersey, any NHL jersey, Adidas, the typical affiliated official hockey jersey of the NHL, all that good stuff. It's not a fake jersey, all this crap. If you buy one, you're automatically entered into the contest. And if you're one of those people that absolutely loves hockey, like Tom from the Blue Notes podcast, or any of these people that want to have one jersey from every single NHL market, this is your chance. This is the time. You could win 30 other jerseys from the one you purchased. So, pretty sweet.
Sick deal, man.
Yeah, like obviously we can do the math, but if you buy one jersey, that's a pretty good return on investment if you win this contest. So go on, follow our link, put in the THPN, all that good stuff, and help support us, help support the podcast. I know not a whole lot of people are just out there spending money right now on jerseys, but if you're looking to buy jerseys, which...
Get that Makar jersey.
Yeah, maybe you need a new Avs jersey, like a Makar jersey, a Rantanen jersey. Maybe you need a
nice character Calvert jersey or
Pebbles
something.
jersey.
Hell yeah.
Anything.
Frankie, man, I bet you there's a lot of Frankie jerseys getting sold these days.
I don't imagine he's going anywhere anytime soon.
Right.
So could be a good time to buy a Frankie jersey.
Yeah. Hell yeah.
But yeah, if you need a jersey, Cool Hockey is the place to go. And yeah, thanks again for listening to the episode. We will catch you on
next week.
Yeah, Monday. It's gonna be weird. It's gonna feel like a long time not doing podcasts.
Yeah.
Watch out.
Yeah, it's been the entire year doing 2 a week, so.
And I got really used to it, man.
Yeah.
Thursday or Wednesday is gonna feel really weird not having a recording.
Yeah, it is.
I don't know what I'm gonna do. I'm sad now.
So talk about it. Hurry up, time.
Yeah, hurry up. Quarantine time.
Let's
get some hockey going. Anyway, check out the altitude stuff, and we will catch you Monday. The biggest thing you can do to support us is by going to iTunes or Apple Podcasts and giving us a 5-star rating. Also, if you're looking to donate to the network, visit the Hockey Podcast Network's Patreon page. All donations go straight to the podcast host. Thanks, and see you next episode.
You're listening to the Hockey Podcast Network on Twitter @HockeyPodNet. New episodes every Monday and Thursday. Download at thehockeypodcastnetwork.com or wherever you get your podcasts from.